My parents were always athletes, and I think that's why I ended up getting into athletics at a very young age. I started when I was 5 years old, and my first sport was gymnastics, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. My parents got me into it because I was always climbing trees and jumping off couches and somersaulting, and they were like, oh, this is dangerous, we got to get her into something. So they got me into gymnastics, and I loved it. I did it for about 7 years. Ultimately, I made the switch from gymnastics to trampoline because I had a knee injury that just kind of forced me out of gymnastics in a way. And I think it was maybe 50% that and 50% that my heart was really on the trampoline. Ever since I was a gymnast, I was always in love with jumping on the trampoline, and I think I tried it, and that's when I just decided that's where my heart was. I was in high school at the time and middle school as well. So I was doing a tumbling pass on a rod floor is what it's called. So it's a very long gymnastics floor. And I hyperextended it, so my knee went the opposite way is what it should have. And I tore my patellar tendon off my kneecap, which was a very strange or rare injury for somebody who is 12 years old. Scar here. But that injury put me out for almost a year, I would say. And then I came back, and actually I broke my tibia and fibula in my foot too. And going through that, you know, you feel very, I guess, lost in a way, because, you know, you're just kind of wondering, am I gonna get back to how strong I was before? So I did try to go back to gymnastics, and then I had another injury, and that's really what told me I need to figure something else out. One of my friends was the one that he told me, he said, go up to the Nevada diving team, like meet the coach, and let's see what you can, you know, do or accomplish in this. And it was pretty cool. So I called Jian Li on the phone one day and left her a message, and I kind of gave her a little bit of my history, saying, you know, I've had some knee injuries and I'm looking to find something new. Can I dive in your club team for a little while? And she said, yeah, come on up. Like, let's see what you can do. So I came up here, started jumping on the trampoline. I showed her a little bit about what I knew, all the flips that I could do on trampoline. And she saw potential, I think. I remember that first day of practice in the pool, and, you know, I had no sense of where I was or what I was even doing, but I tried to make some dives to my head, you know, rather than going feet first, and try to impress her, of course. I mean, it's totally different landing on your head rather than your feet. You know, it's a different feeling, and, you know, when you do something on trampoline, that's the last thing you want to do is land on your head. I'd say about after 3 months of practicing on her club team, she finally offered me a spot on her college team, which was pretty cool. She said, I want you on this college team now. Myself personally, I do train my body a little bit differently than, say, other divers do, because I have injuries that I have to work around. And you learn as you go what exercises work for you and which ones don't. Sometimes you have to think, like, what do you really need more as an athlete personally, and sometimes I think altering those workouts is what's best. And I think another thing is I think how your body looks. So like your physique and stuff is very important for diving, because our sport is a show business. It is, you know, you get on the board and the judge starts judging you as soon as you walk up there. And so being in your top physical shape is very important.
That's right. Do you understand me? Forward, downward. You understand the whole body? Relax. I'm not saying your shoulder going forward, okay? Relax your shoulder.
She's very gifted athlete, so I'm very lucky to have her, and she worked very hard, and then she has dream, and she have desire to be a top athlete. Ability to deal with the injury. Obviously, sometimes springboard will hurt her knee, especially if she's stomping, but she knows how to deal with it. And we work together. If she's really hurt, then I pull her down.
Leading up to the 2016 Olympics, going through that training is very hard, and you have to day in and day out motivate yourself to find the energy to practice. You can put the pressure on yourself, or you can take it as it is and enjoy the experience, and that's what I tried to do, is just enjoy the whole experience of Olympic trials, because I want to do it again in 2020, and now I have a better visual of what it'll look like and how to, I think, better mentally prepare myself. She does that too on she does it too on the board when she's like doing her back press. It was a pretty interesting transition going from an athlete on Nevada Swim and Dive to then become assistant coach, and the girls that I'm training with now is also who I've competed with too. So it's a little bit of a transition moving into that, but it's a huge learning lesson in a way. I see things now from a coach's perspective, and whereas I've always seen them from an athlete perspective. So my knee injuries, I'd say they've always kind of stuck with me mentally, because it's a very traumatic thing that has happened in your life. And I think in that way, it does scare me a little bit I don't want to get injured again. And sometimes I feel a little weaker in diving. And so it is kind of a reminding thing, you need to be stronger right now. And I think sometimes that is a scary thing when those things happen. I think the number one thing that's important to me is the relationships around you. I have to give my parents a lot of credit for bringing me to where I am today, and they have had a huge role in, helping me become a champion, because their mentality is my mentality. My dad's always been motivating, and when I was in the hardest times, he would say, "But Krysta, you remember last time you had this happen and you came back stronger, and this happened." Just kind of helping me in those ways, motivating me, is what he's done best with me. And then my mom is a very tender-hearted woman. She's, been there during those hard times to help pick me up and to, give me the motivation, the belief in myself.
I feel like I have so much, connection to my hometown. I have a special place in my heart for it, because there is something about it that's unique. First job. This is my second mom. I miss you. I miss you too. How have you been?
Good.
Yeah?
Good. When Krysta first came to Tumbleweeds, she took trampoline classes with George Harry. He was our trampoline coach at the time.
With me is Krysta Palmer, one of the most beautiful and talented gymnasts in our country. Krysta, show us your round off.
And from there, she became a coach. She started co-coaching the team with him. And she became a coach and started coaching lots of kids who, some of them have grown up here and are now coaching. She trained here. She is a hometown hero. She's had a lot of success, and we've watched her thrive and grow. We're proud of her.
Krysta really inspired me a lot because she helped me a lot, to learn a lot from her. She's a very tough athlete. I'm not that tough, but she's a very tough athlete.
I mean, my ultimate goal has always been the Olympics, and everything has a reason, and things lead you to other greater things in life. So I think just persevere and keep going, push through the hard times because things always get better.